My name is Iman, and today marks day 42 of 100 days at 100%. These photos were taken in September of 2021. Stepping into this chapter, I feel compelled to share my passion for science and how it has become a guiding light in my pursuit of holistic well-being. Applied science has always been the backdrop to my life, and so has beauty culture and service to others. From a young age, it was clear to me that I would become a beauty entrepreneur dedicated to helping women not only embody beautiful appearance on the outside, but also to experience the sensation of their inner beauty. What I did not see coming was a second calling, one that would pull me from behind the hydraulic chair and into a formal classroom setting. At age 38, that new calling led me to the city colleges of Chicago, where I would learn more of the intricacies of chemistry and applied sciences. As my educational pursuit and career pivot got underway, the expression of vitiligo began to calm, at least enough for me to notice. So I attributed that positive shift to the act of self occupancy and discovering a genuine happiness through my pursuit of knowledge. For those who relish in a touch of science to validate lifestyle choices, this vlog features insightful research and progress photos that serve as living proof of the effects of fitness and nutritional science. Welcome to 100 Days of Self-Care. Here are a few photos of my skin condition currently. All right, it's day 11 of my prolonged fast. And it's been easy. I think if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen me remark on how, or seen posts of me remarking on how easy this fast has been compared to fasts prior. So this, I think, has been easy for me because of the way I prepared my body unknowingly. Actually, for the last year, I've been doing intermittent fasting and alternate day fasting. So I've been doing intermittent fasting where I will push back breakfast until about 12 noon, or my first meal until about 12 noon, and then I'll eat salads. But my salad dressing has a lot of fat in it, so it would have olive oil, avocado, lots of fat in it, and then the salad itself would have veggie carbs, broccoli, peppers, kale, some fiber, dates, things of that sort. And so last December, as mentioned in one of the previous vlogs, I started alternate day fasting where I would have liquids, water, and tea, herbal teas one day, and then the next day I'd have navy bean soup with sliced or chopped vegetables in it. And so I carried out that practice for the whole of last year, those two practices. If it wasn't the alternate day fasting, it was intermittent fasting, whereas I'm just eating later in the day and in a block of time. And by doing that, my body has become adapted to fats. So though it's day 11, my body is still and I know I'm a small woman, but my body still has fat to work off of for energy. My brain, every day, you know, physical or physiological operations, walking, thinking, being bright and having a pleasant disposition, all of this is being powered by fats. And it's been pleasurable. So I'm here at home in Chicago for 3 weeks, and I wanted to update on my plans while I'm here because I know with the holidays coming around, tendency is to eat cookies and baked goods and baked soul foods and comfort foods, and trust, I'm going to indulge. But first, I want to make sure that I come out or transition out of this fast the proper way. And I want to talk about that. And then I also want to be sure that I am incorporating exercise. So while I'm here, I'm going to connect with my fitness group. So firstly, how am I going to come or transition out of this fast? Well, I've got broccoli sprouts that I just picked up from Whole Foods. And if you recall a couple videos back, I talked about how broccoli sprouts were activators of the protein NrF2, and how NrF2 works to bring on phase 2 detoxifiers in the system. And these are the broccoli sprouts. I bought 2 of those actually, and I bought alfalfa sprouts and red clover sprouts. So my plan is to get these in my system first, right? The store purchase sprouts by way of smoothies. So I'm gonna mix these with banana and avocado, the fat again, maybe some kale and water. And I'll be taking that nutrition as I transition out of this fast. The second thing that I did, because I just grew interest to, and as you do something healthy for yourself, you tend to want to stack on another habit. So as I am learning and researching vitiligo and its pathogenesis and these multiple factors that contribute to its pathogenesis, I am becoming more aware of how I can enhance my nutrition. So this is a sprouting jar that I just purchased and picked up from Whole Foods as well. And I got some broccoli seeds. So this is my sprouting jar. I'm going to sprout broccoli over the next 5 days. And I'm going to use those in my smoothies. And ultimately, I'll transition out of the smoothies and into the salads that I was having before. So the whole objective is to have these smoothies with elements that go into my solid salads, and then transition to the solid salad, and then transition to a light, appropriate Christmas dinner with some baked desserts, some gluten-free baked desserts that are all plant-based. So that's that part. Now, I also want to share with you all very briefly a white paper titled Oxidative Stress and Vitiligo, the NrF2 Antioxidant Response Element Signaling Connection. This is by Lee and others. So this paper talks more about how NrF2s and ARE, which is an abbreviated form of antioxidant response element, how the NrF2s and ARE, it's a pathway for antioxidant activity in the cell, and in cases of vitiligo, human vitiligo, that pathway is impaired. And whereas you would have a higher, someone like the control cells, the cells that are not impacted by vitiligo but are regular melanocyte cells, those cells, when treated with hydrogen peroxide, usually have a higher level of phase 2 detoxifiers and lower levels of white blood cells, or they're called IL-2, interleukin 2. So those cells would have, regular cells that have not been plagued by vitiligo would have, okay, let me say that again. Okay, so this paper, Oxidative Stress and Vitiligo by Lee and others. The researchers, they took a control melanocyte cell, which again had no disease, and then there was a melanocyte, or there were melanocyte cells that were vitiligus. And the cells that were in the control group showed, when treated with hydrogen peroxide, they showed a large presence of NrF2 proteins, or the downstream proteins like SOD, HO1, all of the phase 2 detoxifying proteins, and a smaller amount of IL-2, which is interleukin 2, which is an immune response, like an immune protein. So the controls group had a higher presence of detoxifying cells, lower presence of immune modulating cells. The melanocyte cell that was vitiligus, when treated with hydrogen peroxide, showed lower levels of detoxifying proteins and higher levels of those IL-2s, which signal immune system response, right? So in an earlier video, I shared my study in another paper and another blog that I have been looking at for NrF2 activators. And that blog, that research paper, talked about how exercise was also an activator of NrF2 and its downstream proteins. So this paper further supports those ideas and concepts. And aside from that, this paper clearly pinpoints that there is something, there is a glitch in the redox of the NrF2 process. So with that, with the NrF2 and antioxidant response elements impaired, they're unable to do their work in the cell to stop the autoimmunity response. So I just wanted to share that. And again, this is not my advice. This is not me making suggestions. This is my journey. It's achievable, and I am truly, truly worth it.